Greetings, parents. My name is Lou Sexton, and I'm one of the counselors here at Shadow Hills High School. I will be presenting to you today the first half of the slideshow on how to help your senior post-secondary, which is just a fancy way of saying how to help your senior after they graduate from high school. The second half of this presentation will be brought to you by Mr. Adam Vasquez, our newest counselor, who has several of your students on his caseload, and we are happy to give you this valuable information. So welcome. It all begins with joining Google Classroom, class of 2024. The code to enter Google Classroom, even through your phone, you don't need to have your computer, is to find the Google Classroom app and then to enter this code, CRK3EMH. And in that color, you cannot miss it. We have one of our favorite weeks coming up as high school counselors, the College Kickoff Spirit Week. College and career is where we really, this upcoming week, start focusing and talking about it ad nauseum, probably for your students. We start with Monday, hats off to higher education. Tuesday, dress for success. 3, I love it, wild about college. Thursday, dress to represent. Friday, school spirit day, and that would be wearing your colors. This is a really exciting week with a lot of different activities. We've already started having guest speakers. We had Cal Berkeley here today, Cal State Fullerton. Please encourage your child to read the emails that come back to the Google Classroom class of 2024, because this is where Mr. Ramirez, Miss Munoz, Miss Morden, Mr. Vasquez, and I, Mrs. Sexton, all post into the Google Classroom upcoming speakers, deadline information, application information, FAFSA information. This is where it all happens. In case you don't know who your student's counselor is, here is a breakdown by alpha of the last name. Mrs. Munoz is at the beginning with A through Con. Mr. Vasquez is COO through HEP. Ms. Morden is Hearn through MOL. Mr. Ramirez, MON through ROL. And I am ROM through Z. And you can see our emails right there. Our administrative team is a fairly new team with our new principal, Dr. David Dunn. Dr. Kalkowski has returned and has been here. This will be her 5th year here at Shadow. Miss Frazier is new to the assistant principal team, and Miss Mary Alexander, another new AP. So we have lots of changes happening right now. What is our set of academic expectations for your senior? First of all, we want to say you cannot have senioritis and do your best. This is not a year to kick back because it is your last year. It is a year to really push forward and finish strong and just make yourself even more proud of yourself, and for your children to make themselves so proud that you are even prouder than you already are. Included in this, we want students to be able to be A through G eligible. A through G is a set of 15 core classes that the colleges require. It's a little more rigorous than graduation requirements, and we'll get to that in just a minute. We want you to be checking that Google Classroom, and there's the code again for class of 2024. It's important to be on time every day and to attend school as much as possible. Of course, after the virus, we don't want people coming to school sick, but we do want them to, if they are out, to make sure they email their teachers and do as much work as possible. And then, of course, nights, do it right. We want the behavior to be loaded with respect, integrity, greatness, honor, and teamwork. And then at the end, we have senior evaluations. We've done our first set of senior evaluations with your child. Those have been done now for a couple of weeks, and they know exactly what they need to do in order to meet graduation requirements and A through G requirements. If you have any questions about that, again, go back to this slide and contact your student's counselor. On to high school graduation versus A through G. High school graduation requirements are a little lower than A through G. While you do need 3 years of social science, 4 years of English, 3 years of math, 2 years of science, you only have to have 1 year of world language or 1 year of art, 2 years of PE, and 70 elective credits. And a lot of kids blow off the electives and say, oh, that class isn't important. It's just Art 1. It's just theater. It's just health. Well, if you look and see how many electives your child has to have to graduate, it's 70. That is an entire year of coursework. This has to total 220 in order for minimum graduation credits to be met. But if you realize that if your child passes every single class that they take every year, that's 70 credits a year times 4 years, they're passing with 280 credits. The other criteria for passing a class and receiving credit is a student can earn a grade as low as a D. A, B, C, or D. And while no one thinks necessarily that D's are good grades, some kids are in a pickle and they just need to get the D and earn the credits and move on. California state requirements versus the Cal State and the UC and many private schools A through G minimum requirements. A through G does not require the 3 to 4 years of social science or history. It only requires 2, world and U.S. history. But remember, U.S. Gov and Econ are required for graduation. So we want your student to continue to earn C's or better in those classes. English is required all 4 years. Math is only required for 3 years from the state of California. However, all the universities and the colleges, the UCs, the Cal States, and even COD begs school counselors to please have our seniors take that year of math because they do so much better in math once they reach college if they've had math for the last year. The 2 lab sciences that they need are both biology, a life science, and a physical science chemistry. We do also offer anatomy and physiology. 2 years of a world language, American Sign Language, which we are now offering and we're very excited about, is included in that. But the universities are wanting 3 to 4 years, and we want to make your child competitive with all the other students who are beyond the windmills. And then a visual or performing art, and that means Art 1, sculpture, digital photo, band, concert band, and dance, theater. Those are other arts that they can take 1, and we recommend that they take it for 2 years. And then there's a college prep elective. You say, well, what's that? Well, every freshman takes conceptual physics, which is a physical science. If they earn a C or better, that can go towards their college prep. AVID can go towards their college prep. Psychology, anatomy and physiology, if they passed biology already. We have a lot of comprehensive courses here at school that can count for that college prep elective. And why do we want to have kids be A through G? So that your child, if they wish, can go straight into a 4-year university, whether it's a UC, a Cal State, or a private college. On the left here, you see the UC campuses. There aren't as many of them as there are Cal States. There are only 9, but they are outstanding public schools, the furthest north being UC Davis and the furthest south being UC San Diego. And this is where you have an important conversation with your child about how comfortable they are at the distance that they would be from home. Do they want to be able to come home every weekend? Do they want to be able to have you visit them once a month? Are they okay with the thought of moving away, and they're right now feeling very adventurous and courageous, and they'd go all the way north to UC Berkeley or UC Davis? Those are personal conversations for families. You'll see that the UC applications open on November 1st and close on November 30th. I believe that date has been changed to October 1st. They wanted to give kids a longer window, and they're looking for a GPA of a minimum of 3.0. They do require A through G. There is a $70 application fee, and you must answer 4 out of the 8 of the personal inventory questions, also called the PIQs. The Cal State system, another outstanding California school system. And remember, mom and dad and grandma and grandpa, people apply from all over the world to attend these schools because California's college system is so fantastic. We have a significant greater number of Cal States. The closest one to us in this valley is Cal State San Bernardino, specifically the Palm Desert campus. And the farthest from us is Cal State Humboldt, which is now a polytechnic school, just like Polytechnic San Luis Obispo and Polytechnic Pomona. A lot of people say, which of these schools is the best? It really depends on your child, their interest, how much scholarship money they get, what they want to major in, how long they want to study, and what specialty majors these schools each offer. The window again opens for the CSUs on October 1st, closes on November 30th. They want a minimum GPA of 2.5. Yes, you must be A through G. Applications are also $70 each unless you qualify for up to 4 free applications, and there are no essay questions. And of course, your counselors all want to encourage your students to not wait until November 30th to apply, because you never know when a system is going to be overloaded and crash. And the Cal States and the CSUs do not care. These people hold strongly to deadlines. There is no exception made because of all of the myriad of reasons we can think of as human beings. So this concludes the first half of this presentation on how to help your child, your senior, after they graduate from high school. And you know by now the work begins now, not after graduation. Thank you so much for your time and attention. And if you do have any questions, please contact your counselor, as it was posted in the 4th slide, and we'll be happy to help in any way we can. Take care, and remember, Knights do it right.
All right, so transitioning from the Cal State College system and the University of California College system, we're going to kind of move into the California Community College system. So this is most of our students go to College of the Desert, but they can choose from any of the community colleges that California are available in California. There is a common application, and you just kind of select where you want to go. The good news about the California Community Colleges is it's open enrollment. So you have the availability to enroll anytime that you want, but the earlier that you enroll, the better off it is. And that just ensures that you get the classes on time and that you have first pick for classes, just to make sure that all your paperwork is in order, financial aid is in order, and that you don't kick out of school for not doing something properly and on time. The minimum GPA required is a 2.0. That's not set in stone, that's just preferred. So if it is less than a 2.0, still apply. A through G, they do prefer students to still be A through G. People don't get to slack off because they're going to community college. So still that A through G is important. The application is free, so you don't need to pay for that. And unlike UC schools, there are no essay questions that need to be answered for the application. And again, that applies to all the California community colleges. If maybe college is not right for you or your student, there are other opportunities. The military is another excellent opportunity. There's the different branches that they can choose from, but they offer excellent career training programs. And that can be as far as going to college, earning credits, training, as in, training that they do that's valid outside of, the military, that they can pull into like a civilian life. They get to earn credits when they're enlisted. Sometimes they get tuition assistance, usually through the GI Bill. And then if they decide to go to college, or do both, there are ROTC programs that colleges and universities have, that they offer scholarships. And so you can still be in the military, still go to the university, get those scholarships. And each school has a different branch. So there might be a Navy ROTC at one college while there's an Army ROTC at the other. There's also vocational schools or trade schools, and they're pretty interchangeable. Um, they offer certifications and associate degree programs, and these can go anywhere from 8 weeks to 2 years. Often they have open enrollment. You have to be careful with these schools because some may not accept financial aid, while others do. So you have to do your research to know exactly how to pay for it and what programs they have when they start. It just takes a lot of research. So we talked about the different college systems and what they expect and what they need. Now it's time to talk about the dreaded finances. So there is a fastfa.com or FAFSA website that you can go to work on, getting loans and things like that. But free money is what we really want. And as parents, we want it. As teachers, we want to see it. Students want it, even though they don't know they want it yet. But you get grants and you get scholarships, and those are free money. It's basically like grandma writing you a check and saying, here you go, happy birthday, happy graduation. You don't have to pay that back. The issue usually is students don't want to write the essays, and they do require essays, a lot of them. And so do the essays, encourage your students to write the essays. I mean, this is free money that they just have to spend a little bit of time and effort and energy in writing an essay, and they get so much back for basically taking 15 minutes to write an essay or however long they take. Usually they're not very long essays, half a page to 2 pages, usually at the most. There's also work study, and this is a program where they can get a job on campus. They work in the different departments during the day. They don't have to leave school. They don't have to have a car. They don't have to have transportation, but they work. And as they work, they're able to lower their tuition. And then there's the borrowed loans. And this is where the FAFSA comes into play. You do the loans, you get subsidized or unsubsidized, and both of those are loans. They're generally the same thing. It's just the payment for the interest rate is different between each two. And then you have your Parent Plus loans. So if you don't get enough loans, enough scholarships, don't get to work study, then parents can pull out a loan in order to help the child go to school. One of the most useful tools that we have is the California Colleges website. This is known as CCGI. It's a really amazing website that allows students to log in through their district ID. So they have the account already available to them. And it allows them to search colleges, look for careers. There's career aptitude tests on there. So they can figure out, what they'll be good at, what they're not going to be good at. They can finance or learn the finances between, how much schools are. They can figure out how much they're going to make if they do an LVN, a licensed vocational nurse, versus an RN, registered nurse. And, it'd help you find schools for each and talk about the finances. So it's a really great website, and it's sadly underutilized. But encourage your child to get on it and do it with them. There's everything about colleges, there's everything about careers, and there's a lot of good financial aid information on there as well. So senior year is very stressful. Students have a lot going on. They're trying to keep up academically with their classes. They're writing essays for scholarships. They are trying to keep up the grades, filling out applications, still in sports. I mean, the list is endless on how stressful the senior year can be for students. So one thing we'd like to talk about is mindfulness. And mindfulness, especially mindful breathing, really helps center the student so that they can kind of put themselves in the now, so they're not looking too much in the future or too much in the past, and they can kind of get in touch with their bodies at the moment. So we talk a little bit about meditation, breathing, a little bit about balance. Yes, you need to work and work hard, but you also need to balance that with fun and rest and relaxation. Anything that you can do to reduce the stress, not waiting to the last minute to do things, all that can kind of play in. As far as just being aware of what's going on, eating healthy, taking care of your body, and taking care of your soul. So, that's what we encourage for students. But breathing is very important, and it can really, calm a student down, especially, when they're stressed out, which most of them are at this time of year. So that's the end of the presentation. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to the counselors up here at the counseling office. We'll be more than happy to help you out with anything. And as Lou mentioned in the presentation beforehand, the Google Classroom is available. All kinds of scholarships, information, graduation announcements, all that is posted in here throughout the year. So if you don't want to miss out on what's happening and completely rely on your student to tell you, feel free to join the senior classroom, and we'll get you in. All right. Thank you for watching, and thank you for participating. And we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.